Yo, what is up guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back yet again, everybody. We are back with another fragrance review right here, guys. And as you can see, I shaved my head because it's really hot out there, and this is kind of like my summery look right here. Now, today I will be talking about a fragrance that I'm pretty sure, based on the community tab, a lot of y'all are really anticipating right here. This is the latest fragrance coming out of Amouage, and it is going to be from the Opus Library Collection. So I hope you guys are excited. Let's go. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys, okay? Liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel. Guys, we are headed towards 17,000 subscribers. So all you gotta do is like and subscribe, support the channel, and that motivates me to go on and get these reviews done for y'all with these latest perfumes. And the fragrance that we will be talking about today is none other than Amouage Opus 15 King Blue. Yes, King Blue, Opus 15 King Blue. This is a sizable decant of this fragrance. I didn't get a 2 ml. I got way more than that, simply because I really think that I will be wearing this a lot more often. So this decant was from one of my friends, Jared Miller, and that guy, Jared, man, he's got an amazing collection of decants for sale. He is really, to me, he is a curator. So on top of being a trusted decant seller, he does curate a lot of these though. You are going to get the latest, best stuff from Jared. So I'm going to link his Facebook below if you want to hit him up for decants of King Blue and other fragrances. Now, King Blue right here, it is a pretty interesting name, guys, for a fragrance. And it's pretty clickbait-ish as well. This is why everybody's talking about it, because King Blue, the name King Blue kind of sounds like an outstanding spring-summer perfume that could maybe be aquatic or marine, but also because it has the King moniker, kind of like how Royal Tobacco was, which was Opus 14. This one, really, I thought about something very dominant, something very strong, something that's not necessarily in a lot of spring-summer perfumes. Most of them are really just lingering scents. But because it says King Blue, I was thinking it would be a dominant, powerful, strong spring-summer perfume. And I gotta say, without jumping the gun, that if we're talking about dominance and strength, we got it right here in this fragrance. Now, of course, if you looked further into the note breakdown, you probably realized that this fragrance has incense in the mid, amber in the mid, and oud in the end. Yes, that's the shocking part, right? A lot of y'all, I'm sure, were like, well, how's that gonna be? And this brings me back to the moment when I looked into Hachivat Oud. And Hachivat Oud, I just reviewed that. That one had elements of the OG Hachivat, bright and strong citruses mixed with incense and oud. A similarly constructed concoction right there. And just like that, I was just like, man, how were they gonna pull this off right here with the name King Blue in mind? Now, the thing is though, when I looked into the literature, it seems like the actual message or the actual mission here was to promote surrealism in perfume, okay? It's putting together elements that, if you look at it on paper, don't really mix, like mandarin and blackcurrant and oud, which does something completely different, and putting them together in a fragrance. That is what King Blue really is about. So I'm sure you're curious what this fragrance is like. Let's go spray this thing right now. I'm gonna do 3 sprays only with this because when I tested this, this was pretty powerful at 4 to 5 sprays. Okay guys, now let's talk about Amouage Opus 15 King Blue right here, guys. Starting with, in my opinion, this stunning, stellar opening that I think a lot of y'all will enjoy, guys. Now, right here in the opening, you are going to get the notes of mandarin orange, blackcurrant, as well as pink peppercorn right here. What a combination. However, the thing I'm going to state right here is that the mandarin orange is the most dominant, most powerful part of this fragrance. It is perfect for spring, summer, and it does come in a huge dose, in a large amount, with a lot of power right there. And it is going to be your zesty, juicy, and bright mandarin right here. It is a rejuvenating wake up. Whenever you spray this thing right here, it is really, really wonderful. Now, this opening right here brought back memories of Mugler Ultra Zest for me. I mean, obviously, the Amouage one has better quality. It's a high quality mandarin note, but it did bring me back to those days when Ultra Zest was the fragrance that a lot of people were going after. It was a discontinued fragrance that was really orange dominant in the beginning, that it had tangerine, a bright orangey note, as well as blood orange, a gradient orangey note. And so in a way, I got a piece of that Ultra Zest right here. So if you are a fan of Ultra Zest, I think you'll get a more powerful, high quality version of the intro just with the mandarin note of this fragrance right here. Now, with this wonderful mandarin note, the other thing that's pretty important to talk about is that combination of blackcurrant and pink pepper. And the reason why it's important is because if you know your orange, you know that orange can be a bright, juicy, zesty intro like what is described here by me, but also orange can be a gradient note, okay? So just like other orangey perfumes, orange is a great note when it comes to warming notes, how it mixes in with almost like these fade to black gradient notes, warming and comforting. Orange can do that. That's something that I would say lemon, bergamot, it can't do that, but orange can definitely do that. And as you know, King Blue does have incense and oud and all of that. So you already know that orange is going to be a key note into that gradient. But wait up. Before that happens, you're gonna get treated with a nice dose of sparkling blackcurrant and the spike of pink pepper right there. It's gonna be a strong dose as well, and that keeps this fragrance upbeat, lingering, lively. These two notes, blackcurrant and pink pepper, accompany the bright side of the mandarin, making the opening really lovely, lively, zesty, and tart for the wearer, guys, okay? So that makes it pretty applicable for the spring summer season. And again, for those that loved Ultra Zest, you're also gonna get, I would say, like a piece of Aventus here. And I'm talking about the blackcurrant pink pepper combo that is common in Aventus. You'll get that sparkling feel mixed in with that bright mandarin. So again, very, very stunning intro, very lovable. I would even say mass-pleasing intro. And again, if you missed Ultra Zest, hey, this might be your time to get that feeling again with Amouage King Blue. Now, remember what I said about this fragrance being powerful? Yes, the mandarin, blackcurrant, and pink pepper intro is pretty powerful already. It's going to be more than an aura scent in terms of the sillage. However, this fragrance 20 minutes in gets another extra boost, guys, okay? So there's another element that comes in 20 minutes into the intro that makes it even more powerful, and that is the appearance of incense, guys. That's right, incense. And the incense comes in 20 minutes in, provides an extra aromatic boost to this. But the thing about the incense, guys, is that it blends, like I said, with that orange pretty well. It's not like a churchy incense that comes out of nowhere and changes the profile of the fragrance right here. The incense blends in with the orange, creating an orange creamsicle smell. Okay, that's the best way I can describe it. So you go from a bright mandarin orange with the spikes of blackcurrant and pink pepper, and then the incense comes in 20 minutes in to add an additional strong boost, and then it becomes like this orange creamsicle smell, guys, okay? With the blackcurrant still present, with the pink pepper still present. And I would say that this mix is amazing. It's a balanced mix. The intro of that incense that creates that creamsicle smell, boosts the sillage of this fragrance. It does create now this sweet mandarin orange creamsicle like scent trail, and then this fragrance on top of having that beautiful scent trail, now you're also gonna get a warming, comfortable feeling wearing this fragrance right here. So this is precisely that surrealism, that duality that they were talking about, putting together, you know, pieces of brightness and tartness and juiciness with something like incense, something that's, you know, supposedly warming. It's a gradient note. It's usually in the dry down, but it's right here, 20 minutes in the intro, mixed together, creating, like I said, a beautiful mandarin tart rejuvenating intro with now a comforting scent trail care of the incense, that orange creamsicle smell. Now, for some people that are worried that the early appearance of incense will curve this fragrance immediately, let me tell you that none of that really happens until the 2-hour mark. So there's a long 2-hour coverage of this, and like I said, because of the sparkling counter notes basically being there as well, this makes this intro very balanced. But I'm not gonna lie, after trying this multiple times, I thought about an afternoon, sunset, evening scenario as, you know, the best time to wear this really. And of course, this is applicable in the daytime, in the high heat. Like I said, it's got this beautiful mandarin note with the sparkling notes. However, because of the appearance of that incense that you already know is going to intensify, guys, I was thinking of more like afternoon, sunset, evening as the best time to wear this. But of course, more testing. I mean, I'll probably wear this any time of the day, but that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Now, for mainstream frag heads, mainstream lovers of perfume, in my opinion, this intro alone is a strong reason to buy a full bottle of King Blue. That's my honest to goodness opinion, because it is a strong, powerful, wonderful Mandarin based intro that I think a lot of mainstream lovers will like. Just like how Ultra Zest took over, this one is a lot more high quality. There's an extra boost. I think a lot of people will buy full bottles of this just because of this opening. Now, the other really dominant note right here in Opus 15 King Blue is gonna be amber, guys. Yes, it's gonna be amber. Secondary to that mandarin, amber, as y'all know, is a sweet gradient note, and it does mix pretty well. It's designed to mix pretty well with that mandarin as a continuity note. And the reason why the incense note smells like an orange creamsicle and not a church is also because of this amber. So amber joins in with that incense, again creates this orange creamsicle note that eventually becomes a bold ambery note with a little bit of smoke right there. So this amber is a powerful part of the mid, and it does in a way create a gradient 1 to 2 hours in with this fragrance. As the amber mixes with the mandarin, it's actually a mandarin amber incense combo. So you'll still get coverage of that amazing bright intro for up to 2 hours really, guys. Still with the lingering black currant as well as the pink pepper. But of course, after that, an hour and a half to 2 hours in, it does turn into a gradient. Definitely warming, definitely comforting, definitely a sunset scenario right here. And you'll also get the appearance of leather, some small amount of leather that reminded me of the Aventus formula. Yes, I mean, this fragrance is not at all linked to Aventus, but you know how Aventus had some leather and birch somewhere in the mid to denote something really, really classy right here? Well, here in Amouage King Blue, I feel like it's the same. I really feel some leather here that denotes some classiness, but then instead of birch, you've got sweet incense. You've got amber and incense instead of that birch. So there's hints of leather in this. And again, it is the dominant sweet ambery incense with some mandarin that really covers the whole mid. Now, this mesmerizing amber incense mid lasts for 3 hours, okay? 3 hours. So you've got 2 hours of the intro block, and then the second block of this fragrance is 3 hours. So now that's 5 hours basically, guys, of nice ambery, warming, smoky incense right there with some mandarin, as I've said. Now, eventually though, 3 hours in, Of course, the mandarin starts pulling out, and the incense itself starts pulling away as well. And like I said, amber is one of the most powerful parts of this fragrance. It actually, you can smell it all the way till 15 hours. Now, the amber is now joined by some of the base notes. You're gonna get oak wood, you're gonna get oud, and you're gonna get patchouli right here in the dry down, guys. Now, oak wood is, to me, kind of like a dark wood, okay? And it does mix in with the oud, and I know you're wondering where the oud is or what the oud is really about, but to me, the oud is a sweet, dark, and earthy oud wood that is mixed right here to cause a gradient, and also it is too blended in to really stand out as an animalic oud, that a lot of y'all are probably scared about. But this oud right here, to me, is so well blended in that you shouldn't really worry about it. I mean, really, amber reigns supreme even all the way to the dry down, causing this sweet oud concoction with some nice oak wood. Now, there is the spike of patchouli, so there is that earthiness, that greenness from the patchouli that comes in, guys, on the dry down. But I would say that the dry down will still be ambery and woody, guys. Now, in the latter stages of this fragrance, I'm talking about 9 hours and more, is when you are going to get a significant sandalwood note that pops out. And this pops out right when the amber turns into a lingering amber, a weaker amber compared to the mid to the dry down. The amber kind of weakens. You get some lingering sweet amber and patchouli, but you are gonna get a prominent sandalwood note, which I really like. I like this ending part of King Blue with the sandalwood being out there. So as you can see, this fragrance is quite amazing, guys, because it does satisfy two things. It does satisfy the opening zest, the invigorating zest that a lot of people look for in spring summer perfumes, with a lot of strength. And then it also has a gradient, a romantic headed to nighttime gradient, because of the amber and incense combination that heads into some woods and patchouli. But I would say that this fragrance is intro to mid leaning. So the dry down notes, although they're great, I don't think they're prominent at all. They're not gonna be as memorable as the opening to mid of this fragrance. Bright mandarin with spikes of lingering black currant and pink pepper that morphs and shape shifts into a gradient of orange, creamsicle, and amber. That's really, I would say, the main part of this fragrance that a lot of people are going to remember. If you're testing this fragrance, that would be the main reason you'd buy this fragrance, or that would be the main selling points of this fragrance. This is a forward-leaning to mid fragrance. It's not one of those fragrances that people are gonna be like, oh, well, the opening to mid was kind of meh, but the dry down was damn amazing. I mean, I'm in love with the dry down. No, it's not gonna be like that at all. And I like it that way. I mean, when it comes to fragrances, why give me a sucky start only for me to love the dry down? No, I want a really, really good start, a stellar beginning to a fragrance that builds momentum. And that's precisely, to me, what King Blue does. I think this is a winner. I think it's gonna be a mainstream lovable perfume. And with the power and strength of this, that sillage with that scent trail, a more than aura scent, powerful sillage right here on, God, 4 to 5 sprays. I mean, can you imagine if you used the full bottle? I mean, that would have been a lot more stronger, guys. But because of the sillage and the mainstream lovable scent, I think this will be a hit to many, guys. But of course, you gotta try it. You gotta try it first still, guys. I mean, get a decant from Jared, or maybe the Amouage site. Maybe Amouage is selling decants of this as well. But it is a wonderful fragrance to me due to its dominant, powerful sillage and projection. To me, makes it a king right here, guys. Okay, it may not be King Blue as in a King Blue fragrance, but it is a king in its own right. And maybe it got a piece of Aventus, maybe because of the sneaky leather as well as the pink peppercorn / black currant combination. Maybe they thought about stealing the name King Aventus to King Blue. It is somewhat misleading because it is not, to me, a blue fragrance, despite being a great zesty summery fragrance in the beginning, guys. I think this is a very versatile day to night fragrance that a lot of people will love. Now let's talk about the unisex nature of this fragrance. I think this fragrance is definitely unisex. Although it comes in the masculine bottle of Amouage, I think that guys and girls can enjoy this. Much like how Ultra Zest was. I don't think it was necessarily masculine. And I think anybody that enjoys a powerful mandarin perfume that turns into amber and incense, I think women will also get a kick out of this as well, guys, okay? So it's definitely very unisex. And when it comes to longevity of this fragrance, guys, 15 hours. 15 hours or probably more than that. And that's on like 4 to 5 sprays of this fragrance. Amouage doesn't mess around when it comes to performance, guys, okay? I would say that across the board, everybody can agree that Amouage does not suck in performance. Their fragrances are always powerful and strong, and they do set the bar for fragrances. That's why other fragrances are deemed weak, because once you've tried an Amouage, you'll really feel that power, that consistency over hours and hours, guys. So 15 hours plus of that lingering amber and sandalwood right there in the end, guys. It is a lovely, long-lasting perfume as well. Usage-wise, to me, this is a grabber slash upscale grabber, but kind of leaning towards upscale grabber right here. And that's with the complexity of the latter notes past that mandarin intro, guys. The mandarin intro, very mainstream appealing. I think that that's usable anytime, anywhere, much like Ultra Zest was. But because of the appearance of like oak wood and incense and amber, there's that upscale tone to this fragrance that I think if you're using it for nighttime scenarios, on a date or something like that, or if you're a single guy and you're going out, I think that it will matter, especially for an upscale environment, okay? So to me, grabber, upscale grabber, leaning towards upscale grabber a bit more on the usage. And that is it, guys. This is my no hype review on the latest Amouage Opus 15 fragrance, King Blue, right here, guys. For a lot of y'all that are really curious, I know there are a lot of y'all, so hopefully that satisfied your curiosities. Next step is trying this fragrance. Can you buy it blindly? I think you can. I think that you won't regret it, especially even if you like mainstream perfumes. If that's where you're leaning towards, you can definitely blind buy this fragrance, no problem. Don't worry about the oud. Again, amber and incense and sandalwood, these are the notes that really reign supreme at the end of this fragrance right here. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think of this fragrance. If you were one of those first people that blind bought this fragrance, let me know what y'all think, or if at this point you've already tried it, I would love to know what your comments are. Again, thank you, Jared, for sending this over. Jared Miller, I'll link him below so you guys can order a decant if you want, guys. A great guy, great decant seller. Thank you again, Jared, for this. And again, please do not forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys on the next video. God bless, take care, peace.